Deep within the rugged sprawl of Chinyo Mountain, where jagged cliffs hid more secrets than sunlight, stood a lonely stretch of highland known as Toad Ridge. Perched there, almost forgotten by the world, was Toad Village, a tiny cluster of houses that looked as if they were permanently holding their breath. Most homes sat quiet and hollow, emptied out by fear or hopelessness. Two men stood among them, one narrating to the other in a low, frustrated tone. He recalled the old days, their old days, back when the former village leader was alive. Back then, they were powerful, strong enough that even the roaming bandits treated them with respect. But once that leader died, everything crumbled. One by one, every brother, every fighter, every so-called loyal subordinate ditched the newly appointed village master and fled. Now, only these two remained. "The officers will arrive soon," the man warned his companion. His voice trembled with a mix of fear and resignation. "They're gonna wipe out the bandits. We can't even defend ourselves. If we stay, we're dead. We should ditch the new village master while we still can." Before his words could settle, another figure emerged. A young man whose clothes were literally hung up on a pole beside him, wrapped like laundry drying in the sun. He looked annoyed, offended even, as he heard the conversation. "So that's it," he said sharply. "The new leader calls me too young and naive, and you two are already planning to ditch him?" Then, with the righteous anger of someone trying very hard to appear noble, he shouted, "Fine. Anyone who wants to abandon their leader, get lost. Right now." He spun around dramatically, and then broke into a grin. "Anyway, I'll go first." And just like that, he sprinted off down the mountain, leaving a cloud of dust, and his dignity, behind. The two men he'd left behind stared at each other for a moment, then burst into a quiet, knowing smile. "Should we go too?" "Yeah." And off they went, abandoning the village one after another. Meanwhile, inside one of the few structures still standing, Xing Dalei sat slumped on a wooden chair beneath a faded tiger-skin rug. His hand clutched his forehead as if trying to physically hold his skull together. "Arg, my head, it hurts." Memories, foreign, overwhelming, poured into him like a flood with no mercy. He wondered aloud if he'd somehow been transported to another world. Just moments ago, Xing Dalei had been an absolutely normal university student, gaming in front of his computer with his headphones on. He had been playing a strategy game called Hearts of the Mountain Bandits, right up until he fainted. Now he was here. In a different body. In a different world. And the worst part? This body's memories were merging with his own. In those memories lay a village drowning in despair, this village. Toad Village. And he was now its owner. Its leader. He'd inherited it after the original village master, his new body's father, passed away. The world around him wasn't simple either. De Wu, the governing dynasty, had been founded 120 years ago. Once, it controlled both land and sea, powerful and unshakable. But those glory days were long gone. Now the empire was collapsing under endless wars, so many wars that starving civilians were forced to become mountain bandits just to survive. And Toad Village? It was one of those bandit groups. A very, very pathetic one. When the old leader was alive, Toad Village had actually been well known across Chinyo Mountain, feared even. But since his death not long ago, the bandits abandoned the village one after another, until Xing Dalei felt like the last man left on the mountain. He sighed softly, slumping deeper into his chair. Suddenly, a hand touched his shoulder. "Village master." Xing Dalei jolted slightly, surprised. Standing behind him was Su Shinji. Somehow, Shinji hadn't left yet. But this was the strategist of Toad Village, the man whose supposed genius ideas had never once been useful. His IQ was questionable at best. Still, Xing Dalei was moved. He grasped Shinji's hands gratefully. "You stayed. Thank you. Truly. I'll remember this favor for the rest of my life." Shinji stared back at him, blinking slowly. "Village master, I think you misunderstand." He cleared his throat. "Toad Village's resources are basically gone. The only thing left is that skinny horse. Since no one else wants it, could I take it?" Xing Dalei froze. His heart cracked a little. Shinji then added casually, "Oh, and could I take this tiger skin too?" Xing Dalei collapsed back into his chair, soul leaving his body. "Just take it. Take everything. And go." Shinji beamed happily, rolled up the tiger skin, and called out, "Linger! Hurry up and bring the horse. We're leaving. Even after we get down the mountain, we'll still need it to make a living." Then he vanished, belongings in hand, leaving Xing Dalei alone yet again. Xing Dalei sighed, long, hopeless, exhausted. How was he supposed to survive alone in a world like this? Then, something snapped behind him. A strange symbol flashed into existence behind his head, and a hand emerged from it, a pale, glowing hand that reached forward. and smacked him. Hard. What the? Ching Daley spun around, completely bewildered. Suddenly the world around him dissolved. The wooden walls vanished. The whole room melted away into a vast empty space, filled with pixel-like sparkles floating weightlessly in the air. And then she appeared. A long-haired blonde woman stepped forward, radiant and otherworldly. She had delicate diamond-shaped antennae atop her head, shimmering faintly. Her cyan eyes locked onto Ching Daley with calm confidence. "Young and brave man," she said warmly. "You're finally here." Ching Daley blinked. "Who are you? Where even is this?" The blonde girl lifted her hand. Floating above her palm was a glowing blue diamond. "This is the system subspace," she said. "And I am the spirit of the system." Before he could fully react, the diamond shot upward, hovering above him. She applauded gently. "Congratulations on opening Hearts of the Mountain Bandits." The diamond suddenly pulsed, then exploded into a burst of blinding light, showering the space with shimmering particles. A blue pop-up screen materialized in front of Ching Daley, complete with a chunky loading bar, straight out of a video game. As he stared at it, he remembered, this looked exactly like the game he was playing before being transported. The blonde girl gently confirmed Ching Daley's realization. "Yes," she said. "I'm here to help you. Toad Village is officially registered as a beginner-level mountain bandit group. Its entire population is just 3 people, its leader, its strategist, and its groomer. If even one more leaves, you'll be running a one-man village." Ching Daley stared at the floating pop-up screen. He truly had a system. A real, game-like system, in another world. A new mission flashed across the screen. Mission: do not let the village population reach 1. Stop people from leaving. If the mission fails, the system will disappear. Before he could process the threat properly, a bluish aura wrapped around him, shimmering like electricity crawling across his skin. Another notification blinked into existence. Fail this mission and regret it forever. No second chances. Then came the integration. Bursts of light pierced through him, painful and overwhelming. The spirit of the system hovered above him, watching with calm amusement. "You're full of energy, young man," she said. "But the village is almost empty. You must stop your strategist and groomer from leaving." Another screen popped up. New mission. Use a sincere method to stop the strategist and groomer from leaving. Ching Daley exhaled shakily. I can try. But how do I leave this subspace?" The blonde girl smiled sweetly. Then, very much not sweetly, she grabbed him by the collar, lifted him like a sack of rice, and flung him into the sky. "There you go!" Ching Daley screamed the entire way down, eyes watering from terror rather than sentiment. Moments later, he lay on the floor of his home, sweating, shaking, and on the verge of questioning reality itself. Was that all a dream?" The spirit's whisper brushed against his ear. "If you fail the mission, you die." Ching Daley froze mid-crawl. Fear flickered in his eyes like a candle in a storm. Outside, the morning sun poured warm golden light across Toad Village. Ching Daley burst out of his home, shouting, "Strategist Su! Shinji! Wait!" He sprinted downhill toward the forest, lungs burning, until he finally caught up with them. Su Shinji stood there with a horse, and with a young woman at his side. Shinji glanced back, mildly confused. "Village Master, what's wrong? Regretting your earlier words? Want to take them back?" But Ching Daley was only half listening. His eyes had locked onto the girl. She stood with her hand on her hip, chin tilted upward with adorable arrogance. This had to be Su Linger. She scoffed. "Father, let's go. We wasted enough time." Ching Daley felt his cheeks warm. Who is she?" Shinji nodded politely. "My daughter. She usually takes care of the horses. You probably haven't seen her before." Ching Daley swallowed. She really was beautiful. He grabbed Shinji's hands, again, and blurted. "Father, wait, Shinji. Listen. Without you, the village is finished. You've worked so hard for years. You've contributed so much. I can't let you go." Shinji's jaw twitched. His face tightened in annoyance. "Village Master, I'm old. I'll only slow you down. You'd be better off without us." But Ching Daley shook his head fiercely. "No. If you leave, we all die. If you stay, I promise, you won't go hungry as long as I'm alive." Linger rolled her eyes. Shinji sighed. "This village has nothing left. Where would we even survive?" Ching Daley straightened up, puffing out his chest. "What am I afraid of? Hand me a weapon. I'm going to rob someone." He grinned quietly to himself, imagining the reward he might get once the mission was cleared. Out of nowhere, he asked Shinji, "By the way, how old is Linger?" His ego inflated as he imagined himself as one of those overpowered protagonists from his past life. Linger's eye twitched. She lifted an axe, one big enough to chop down a house, and shoved it into his hands. Ching Daily nearly buckled under the weight. He stared at it, disappointed. This was not the cool weapon he had pictured. He gripped the massive axe with both hands and imagined himself as a towering warrior with bulging muscles. Instead, he looked like a malnourished lumberjack. Before he could pout further, a pop-up appeared. Mission complete. Stop the strategist and groomer from leaving. Reward, Axe Skill Book. The spirit of the system materialized briefly, handing him a glowing manual. As soon as he accepted it, the knowledge rushed into his mind. Techniques of the legendary Qinyao Jin. The perfect grip, precise chopping angles, powerful swings. Shinji nervously cleared his throat. Village Master, going alone is dangerous. Ching Daily stared blankly at him. Shinji blinked. Wait, you want me to come with you? Ching Daily lifted the axe onto his shoulder, face serious. Of course. What else would I bring a strategist for? Now, anything else you need to say? No, Village Master. Good. Let's go. Together, they tugged the horse along and descended deeper into the mountain. A new pop-up appeared mid-step. New mission. Carry out a successful robbery before nightfall. Rewards, 1 lottery chance. Penalty, death. Shinji paled. Village Master. But Ching Daily only waved a hand casually. Stop calling me Village Master. Call me Boss. As they walked onward, they soon reached a spot where the setting sun painted the mountain in gold. The trees glowed like embers. The entire scene looked like the calm before a storm. Ching Daily raised his axe high, the blade catching the last streaks of sunlight. Beneath him, the horse reared onto its hind legs, letting out a furious neigh that echoed through the mountain pass. Their two silhouettes were framed against the breathtaking sunset, dramatic, heroic. Completely misleading. Because in the dense forest below, a squad of armed soldiers was making its way up the winding trail. Some rode on horseback, others marched on foot behind a finely decorated carriage. One soldier leaned toward the front. Warrior Lin, he called to one of the 2 men leading the procession. There are a lot of mountain bandits around here. We should be careful. We're escorting the city lord's son's fiancée, after all. Warrior Lin scoffed, gripping his spear with pride. Bandits? Humph. It's been too peaceful this whole mission. If they dare show themselves, I'll skewer them. I'm itching for a fight. Up on the ridge, Ching Daily and Shinji were waiting. Well, Ching Daily was waiting. Shinji had already recommended retreating 12 times in the last 10 minutes. Village Master, the sun's almost down. Shinji whispered nervously. Maybe no one will come today. We should, rob someone tomorrow. But Ching Daily refused to budge. He had a mission. A robbery before nightfall, or death. There was no backing out. And then, at last, a faint rumble of hooves. The clattering of armor. The distant glint of steel. Ching Daily's eyes sharpened. Here they come. Shinji peeked out from behind him, counting frantically. 1, 2, 3, F5, 8, 10, Village Master, there are too many. Let's go back. Let's go back right now. Ching Daily looked him dead in the eyes. I understand how you feel. Shinji blinked. You do? Yes. Don't worry. I'll die with you. Shinji's soul left his body for a moment. I don't want to die with you, he screamed internally. Down below, the escort team continued toward the bend in the road, blissfully unaware of the impending chaos. Shinji, on the verge of tears, started sweating so hard his clothes darkened. In his panic, he reached back and awkwardly caressed the horse's rump. This is a good horse, he whispered to no one in particular. Ching Daily stared at him. And then, stab. Shinji jabbed the horse hard in the rear. The animal shrieked, rearing up in agony. Ching Daily yelled, clinging for dear life. Su Shinji! What are you doing? The horse launched forward like an arrow, sprinting straight down the road, directly toward the armored escort squad. Shinji cupped his hands around his mouth and screamed. Toad Village's leader is robbing you. Everyone who doesn't want to die, surrender or run away and leave all your belongings. Ching Daily nearly fell off the saddle. You traitor! You said you wouldn't leave me. And why announce it out loud? Shinji, tears streaming, whispered to himself. Sorry, Village Master. I still have a daughter to raise, but I'll burn incense for your soul. And with that, he crept backwards into the bushes, abandoning Ching Daily completely. Now alone, Ching Daily galloped downhill uncontrollably, screaming insults and curses the entire way. As he drew closer, the escort soldiers finally looked up. They blinked. Then blinked again. Just one man. One. Riding a half-dead horse. waving a gigantic axe, charging at an entire armed escort squad. A soldier reached for his sword. Is he alone? Chingdalia yanked painfully on the horse's reins, making the poor creature rear again. He barely managed to stop it in time, wiping sweat from his forehead. Standing tall, standing shakily, he raised his hands. Wait! Misunderstanding. This is all a misunderstanding. The soldiers narrowed their eyes. Chingdalia took a deep breath, puffed out his chest, and declared, I'm not the master of Toad Village. He jabbed a thumb at his chest. I'm Shinji, a scholar. Those who don't want to die, surrender your weapons immediately. The soldiers stared at him, mouths slightly open. Then, they burst into laughter. Is he insane? Did he lose a bet? Why rob people alone? Jumping off a cliff would be easier. Even Warrior Lin struggled not to laugh. But at that moment, a voice barked. Silence! Housekeeper Huang, the serious-looking elderly man walking beside the carriage, stepped forward. Young man, he said sternly, you may not realize who we are. Your life is valuable. Think of your family and go home while you still can. Before Chingdalia could respond, a delicate hand lifted the pink curtain on the carriage window. A beautiful woman with pink hair and striking blue eyes leaned out, her gaze curious and gentle. Chingdalia's heart stopped. She was breathtaking. Absolutely unreal. He stared like an idiot, unable to look away. Smack! A ghostly hand slammed into the top of his head. The system spirit had appeared again, floating above him like an angry angel. Stop drooling, you pervert! Chingdalia clutched his forehead. Stop hitting me every time you show up! You look stupid! She shot back. Only he could see her, thank heavens, because a bright red lump was already rising on his head. The spirit snapped her fingers, and a blue pop-up appeared. Hidden mission unlocked. Task: rob someone's fiancé. Warning: level exceeds host's abilities. You may reject. Chingdalia stared at the screen, gulping. A hidden mission, with high risk, but high reward. He clenched his fists. If I succeed, I could get myself a wife. If I fail, I die. If I can't handle this small mission, how will I ever become a real mountain bandit? The system spirit glared at him. He's not thinking about rewards. This pervert is just lusting after someone's fiancé's body. Useless pervert. But Chingdalia, burning with determination, or something like it, accepted the mission. Warrior Lin, still on horseback, leaned forward with excitement blazing in his eyes. Don't scare him off. He barked at the soldiers behind him. I've finally found a bandit with guts. This one's mine. His comrades broke into applause, hooting and cheering. They'd been waiting for this, an excuse to watch Warrior Lin in action and test whether all the rumors about his strength were true. Don't kill him in one strike, Lin! Show us a couple moves first. Yeah, let us enjoy the performance. Warrior Lin smirked confidently. I won't take your life, he promised, leveling his spear toward Chingdalia. Don't you dare hold back. The system spirit hovered beside Chingdalia holding an information pop-up. Target identified. Name, Lin Xiaoyu. Class, Spear Warrior Ordinary. Skills, Piercing Spear Strikes. Hidden Attribute, Future Great Hero. Chingdalia swallowed. Oh great. A future hero. But he forced himself forward, horse and axe trembling together. I've slain many nameless men with this axe. Cheng bragged loudly, acting far more confident than he felt. Tell me your name so I can remember it before I defeat you. Warrior Lin nodded firmly. Lin Xiaoyu. Then he asked, with sharp curiosity. Are you the Toad Village Master? Or are you that scholar Su Shinji? Chingdalia froze. Panic. Brain static. Then he blurted. Yongchun Yiwen. Warrior Lin stared at him. There is no such place as Yongchun among the prefectures. And that name is strange. Chingdalia waved him off. Stop talking nonsense. He lifted his axe high and charged. Your head is mine. Warrior Lin's eyes lit up. He thrust his spear forward to deflect. Clang. The moment their weapons clashed, Warrior Lin's expression changed. His arms shook. He felt Cheng's overwhelming strength surge through the spear. What? Before he could recover, Chingdalia swung again with a blazing overhead strike. This time, Warrior Lin couldn't block it. Bam! He was blasted off his horse. His spear spiraled through the air before stabbing into the ground, and Warrior Lin hit the dirt with a heavy thud. The entire escort squad gasped. Chingdalia didn't wait. He rode through the line of stunned soldiers, axe raised. He leaped off the horse mid-charge and kicked the carriage driver, knocking him aside. Inside, the beautiful pink-haired, blue-eyed lady gasped in alarm. Qing Dalai then struck the carriage horse sharply on the backside with his axe. The horse shrieked and bolted forward, tearing the carriage out of its formation and crashing straight through the soldiers blocking the road. Men dove out of the way in panic. "Chase him!" Housekeeper Huang shouted, his voice cracking with fury. "If we fail this escort mission, we're all dead!" Meanwhile, far behind on the mountain path, Su Xingji finally stumbled back into Toad Village just before sunset, sweating buckets. "Linger! Close the gate! Quick!" he shouted as soon as he arrived. Linger blinked at him. "Father? Why did you come back alone? Where's the village master?" Xingji slumped against the door frame. "That idiot almost killed me. If I wasn't smart enough to run, you'd never see me again." Linger gently patted his shoulder. "Father, dead people don't come back to life. Don't be sad." "I'm not sad about me dying," Xingji snapped. "I had a wonderful horse." Linger's face fell in disappointment as Xingji dramatically ranted on. "This village is no longer safe. Pack everything. Clean the garlic. Clean the kitchen. We're leaving tonight." Back on the mountain trail, Qing Dalai was racing downhill with the stolen carriage, shouting, "Hurry! Hurry!" He yanked the bridle belt, trying to keep the frenzied horse under control. The system spirit appeared above him mid-chaos, cheerfully floating upside down. "Do you want to use your lottery draw now? You earned one for completing a mission." "Yes. Draw it now!" Qing Dalai screamed while whipping the reins. The spirit smirked. "Do you want to whip the horse first or draw the reward first?" Qing Dalai nearly exploded. "I will whip you!" But the system spirit only giggled and winked. With a playful snap of her fingers, a golden lottery machine materialized in her arms. She cradled it like it was a stuffed toy and gently shook it back and forth. Behind them, soldiers still thundered on horseback. "Catch him! Skin the bandit alive! He stole the bride! If we fail, we're dead men!" Qing Dalai panicked. "Faster! Faster! They're right behind me! Draw the damn reward!" The system spirit hummed happily. A small ball popped out of the machine, clicked open, and revealed the prize. "Reward Great Hunter, Gene Man." Qing Dalai nearly choked. "A person? It can draw a person?" The soldiers were getting closer. He looked around wildly. "Where is he? On the ground? Behind a rock? Is he gonna fall from the sky?" He pointed upward dramatically. "Go, Pikachu! I summon you!" The system spirit stared at him like he'd lost his mind. Nothing happened. He tried again. "I summon you in the name of the Sakura." Still nothing. He started waving his hand in a circle like a magician. "Calling for backup. Respond quickly. Gather. Create a path. Shine brightly. Warrior, appear." The spirit only watched him in absolute confusion. Warrior Lin, still burning with rage from being knocked off his horse, sprinted forward and nearly struck the runaway carriage with his spear. "Stop right there!" he roared. "You're dead, bandit!" Qing Dalai's eyes widened in horror. He tugged the reins desperately, his whole life flashing before his eyes. But before Warrior Lin could close in, a calm voice echoed from the distance. "Village Master, don't worry. Gene Man is on your side." A figure stepped out of the forest shadows. A man with long brown hair. A deep X-shaped scar across his chest. A spear held with the confidence of someone who had faced death more times than he could count. Gene Man. Qing Dalai realized instantly. The system did arrange the timing. The reward wasn't random, it appeared exactly when it made sense to appear. Warrior Lin, still mounted, charged forward despite realizing he had lost control of his horse. The animal barreled straight toward Gene Man. Gene Man planted his feet, eyes narrowing. "Get off!" With a violent thrust, he drove his spear straight into the horse's mouth. The beast screamed, blood pouring as its legs buckled. It toppled forward, sending Warrior Lin crashing to the ground in a stunned heap. The soldiers froze, staring in disbelief. Qing Dalai's jaw dropped. He killed a horse with one thrust. The armored troops trembled as a wave of fear washed over them. Housekeeper Huang swallowed hard, trying to regain control. He raised his sword with shaking hands. "We are men of the Black Rock City Leader. Surrender Miss Sue and we might spare your worthless." Before he could finish, Gene Man swung his spear. Crack! The spear struck a nearby stone, shattering it, and the flying debris slammed squarely into Huang's face, blowing his teeth straight out of his mouth. "Get lost!" Gene Man roared. Huang shrieked and stumbled backward, screaming for retreat. "Fall back! Fall back!" The escort soldiers panicked and fled down the road, desperate to reach Black Rock City and report what had happened. Gene Man walked over to Qing Dalai, bowed slightly, and announced, "I've come to work under you, village master." The system spirit popped up, her tiny hands holding a glowing information screen. Character, Gene Man. Age, 31. Class, Great Unknown Hunter. Skill, 3-core Plum Blossom Spear. Origin, outskirts of Black Rock City. Status, wanted criminal of Black Rock City. Backstory. He once lived peacefully with his wife near Black Rock City. But word of her beauty reached the city leader. While Gene Man was out hunting, the leader sent his men to seize her. Rather than surrender herself, Gene Man's wife chose to leap off a cliff. When he returned and discovered the truth, Gene Man stormed into Black Rock City alone and slaughtered dozens of guards before escaping into the mountains. Now, driven out and hunted, he chose to serve Toad Village. Ching Dailyi felt his heart tighten. To him, this was game lore. But to Gene Man, this was a real life, a real tragedy, in a brutal era. The carriage horse, yes, the skinny, half-useless horse Ching had earlier abandoned, trotted back on its own, snorting proudly as if it had rescued the entire mission. Ching Dailyi and Gene Man mounted up, and together they rode back toward Toad Village, the fading sunlight painting their silhouettes across the mountain. At the village gate, Su Shinji was holding a string of garlic, barking orders at Linger. "Carry the pot! Check the barn! Make sure we didn't leave anything behind!" Linger groaned, weighed down with supplies. "Father, I can't carry anything else!" Shinji puffed his chest and declared, the garlic necklace bouncing on his chest. "I can't carry it either, but we'll starve without it." Then, a familiar voice echoed. "Need a horse?" Shinji and Linger turned, and froze. Ching Dailyi rode in on horseback, Gene Man beside him, the stolen carriage following behind. Linger gasped. "That's Village Master." Shinji's eyes bulged so wide they nearly fell out. He slapped his own hand over his mouth and bowed quickly. "Village Master! If you had died, I would have blamed myself for being too useless. I don't need to be kicked out. I'll leave on my own." Linger sniffed sadly behind him. Ching Dailyi narrowed his eyes. "And where exactly were you going, Shinji?" He smirked. "Did you forget how I told those soldiers my name was Shinji? They're probably hunting for you right now." Shinji's jaw dropped open in horror. His fists clenched, his body shook, and sweat poured down his face. "Village Master!" he cried. I may be old, but I still have brains. I can still think of survival plans. I'll always help you. I swear it." Linger sobbed harder. With a reluctant sigh, Ching Dailyi nodded. "Fine. Come over here and help me with the horse." He introduced Gene Man to Shinji. Told Linger to feed the horses. Assigned Gene Man to prepare supper. Pointed Shinji toward the carriage. "And take the person in the carriage to a room. As for me," he smirked and winked, "I'll be sleeping with my wife." Shinji's soul left his body again. He silently climbed into the carriage to move Miss Su. Ching Dailyi exhaled in victory. He'd completed the hidden mission. Time to check the reward. He snapped his fingers. The system spirit appeared instantly, not smiling. Smack. She whacked him again, arms crossed in disapproval. "Don't snap at me. Address me properly, as the system goddess." Ching Dailyi rubbed the growing bump on his head. Yes. System goddess." Her expression softened as she lifted a golden glowing box. "Congratulations on successfully robbing someone's fiancé. Your reward is the ability to awaken someone's hidden attributes." Her hand shone brighter, golden energy swirling through her palm. She said with a mysterious smile, "The choice is entirely yours." Ching Dailyi stared, bewildered, at the glowing golden energy pulsing from the system goddess palm. Awakening someone's hidden attributes. He never expected such a reward. Before he could even choose whose attributes to awaken, a shadow suddenly blocked his view. Su Shinji stood right in front of him. The moonlight spilled across Shinji's face, and something felt different. Ching Dailyi's eyebrows twitched. Had this man's hidden attribute already awakened on its own? Was that even possible? He didn't have time to ponder it. Night had already overtaken the Chinyo Mountains, a cold silver glow bathing the ridges in silence. Far away, deep within another part of the mountain, the defeated escort squad had set up a temporary camp. Bonfires crackled angrily as frightened soldiers patched themselves up. Commander Huang stared blankly at the flames, his lips swollen, teeth missing, and pride shattered. He looked at one of his men. "You want to live, right?" The soldier nodded quickly. "Oh, of course." Huang leaned forward, eyes furious. "Then tell me, how many mountain bandits attacked us?" The soldier trembled. He looked around. The others exchanged nervous glances. Finally, one managed a tiny whisper. "One." Huang slammed his fist down, Only one? Are you blind? His whole face puffed with rage as he relived the humiliation. We risked our lives. The bandits attacked from all directions. We killed many of them. Warrior Lin went missing. And Miss Su was abducted. The soldier across from him stayed silent, staring at the fire like a man reconsidering his entire life. Huang huffed, then barked. If we want to survive, we need wounds. And so, the soldiers wrapped themselves in bandages, smearing dirt and bruises everywhere until they looked like mangled war victims. Good, Huang said. Now follow me back to the city. We're requesting reinforcements. Not far from them, Warrior Lin stood stoically with his spear, the flames reflecting off his battered face. His pride had been stabbed deeper than any wound. He whispered through clenched teeth. Commander Huang, I failed you. I promised to protect Miss Su. I'll risk my life to bring her back. Back in Toad Village, the system goddess popped back into view, holding a new pop-up screen. Awakened attribute, Su Shinji. Age 52. Class, famous lousy strategist. Hidden talent, stupid tactics. Outcome, any plan he suggests leads to failure. Qing Dailai stared at the screen, dead inside. He expected Shinji to be mediocre, maybe a little below average. But this? He didn't expect the man to be trash even after awakening. Shinji poked his head forward. Village Master, what's wrong? Why do you look like you swallowed a rat? Nothing, Qing Dailai muttered. What do you want? Scratching his head, Shinji replied. I already spoke to the lady. Her name is Su Yi, the fiancée of the young master of Black Rock City. He sighed dramatically. Village Master, you really shouldn't have abducted her. The old village master also messed with Black Rock City, and he died. If you do the same, we'll all die. Linger stepped in holding a bowl. Dinner's ready. Under the dusk sky, Qing Dailai gathered Qin Man, Su Shinji, and Linger around the bonfire. Their simple supper hung on a stick above the fire. Does anyone know what's going on in Black Rock City? He asked. Qin Man stepped forward. I do, he explained. Black Rock City was 150 miles from Toad Ridge. It was ruled by Han Huzhe, a womanizing, ruthless tyrant. He commanded 5,000 elite soldiers. Shinji nearly choked on his supper. F-5,000 versus the four of us? Village Master, do you think we can win? Qing Dailai sighed. What do you want me to do? Send Miss Su back, apologize, beg for mercy? Do you think that'll work? Shinji shrank. Forget I said anything. Linger nodded slowly, equally horrified. Qin Man then spoke with deadly calm. We should strike first. Shinji's jaw dropped. Qin Man continued. If we attack proactively, capture Han Huzhe, we have a 70% chance of victory. Linger stared in shock. Shinji whispered to her. We should run, or we're already dead. Linger wiped a tear. We are already dead. But Qing Dailai shook his head fiercely. No. Running isn't an option. He raised 3 fingers. First, Black Rock City has plenty of women. They won't send all 5,000 soldiers. At most, they'll send 100 or 200. Everyone blinked. Second, it takes days to travel 150 miles. That gives us enough time to prepare an ambush. As if reacting to his determination, the system goddess appeared. New mission activated. Defend Toad Village and defeat the enemy attack. Difficulty exceeds mountain rank. Qing Dailai continued. Third, my father died fighting Black Rock City. I will avenge him. And Qin Man has his own hatred. If we don't take revenge, how can any of us live peacefully? Qin Man stepped forward and nodded. No matter what happens, we protect this village. Qing Dailai nodded back. There are 2 roads to Toad Ridge. Shinji picked up his smoking pipe and explained proudly. The small path has a valley, no carriages can pass. The main official road is easier for them to use. Qing Dailai stared at him. He remembered Shinji's awakened talent. Stupid tactics will lead to instant failure. So he asked, which way will the enemy take? Shinji puffed confidently. The official road, of course. At that moment, Qing Dailai became 100% certain. They would take the other road. He smirked. Shinji, do you think we can win? Shinji bowed his head. I'm sorry, but I think we'll be wiped out. No miracle will save us. Qing Dailai grinned as he continued saying that even though it seemed like they had no chance at first. When he thought to himself about Su Shinji being useless, he merely needed to do the opposite of what he says, effectively ruling out the useless choice. The moon hung high over Qingyou Mountain, half veiled by thin drifting clouds. Its pale glow seeped through the cracks in Toad Village's wooden houses, bathing everything in a cold silver haze. Inside one of the rooms, Miss Su sat alone on the edge of the bed. Silent. Still. Lost. Her thoughts drifted bitterly. God really hasn't abandoned me yet. Even toilet paper, used tissues, torn clothes, all of it can be reused if you have to. A sad, practical thought. The kind only a woman trying to keep her dignity alive would have. The door creaked open. Ching Daliai stepped inside with a bowl of food. Miss Su, you should eat something. She looked up, startled for a moment, then turned her gaze away, refusing to speak. Ching Daliai studied her in the dim moonlight. She really was stunning, elegant, refined, with a gentle beauty that didn't belong in a bandit's hut. Then, a darker voice whispered in the back of his mind. His alter ego. She's helpless. Beautiful. You could do anything you want. Ching Daliai slapped a hand over his mouth, horrified at his own thoughts. No. No! I'm not that kind of person. He squeezed his eyes shut. He was scared that if he crossed that line once, he'd become a true villain in this world. The system goddess materialized above him, smiling proudly. You righteous young man, she said. Because you resisted temptation, a new mission has been triggered. A glowing mission box appeared. New mission, win Miss Su's heart using sincerity, not violence. A true man should rule hearts before ruling the world. She giggled teasingly. Let's see if you can charm a girl without acting like a brute. Ching Daliai cleared his throat awkwardly and held out the food again. Miss Su, you probably can't sleep tonight. Here, eat something. He almost called her by the wrong name. Ying Ying, and quickly corrected himself. Miss Su lifted her chin sharply. My family is one of the 4 great families of Fallen Leaf City, she declared. If you let me return, I can pay you in gold. She folded her arms. And I am the fiancé of the young master of Black Rock City. If you harm me, you'll suffer consequences you can't imagine. Ching Daliai sighed. It's a misunderstanding. I didn't kidnap you to hurt you. I have a vendetta against the leader of Black Rock City. Capturing you is the only way to lure him out. When this is over, you'll be free. Miss Su frowned. You're lying. Men always want the same thing. You're no different. She hugged herself anxiously. Please, don't hurt me. Whatever you want, gold, food, anything, name it. Ching Daliai remained quiet, heart twisting a little. The system goddess appeared again, holding a pop-up. Miss Su. Talent, none. Insight, high. Disposition, easily discerns lies. Ching Daliai hesitated. Should he try to convince her? He stepped closer. Miss Su. In your eyes, I'm just another violent bandit. But if I could live quietly, why would I choose this path? I also want to be a scholar. A warrior. Someone respected. He walked to the window and looked up at the moon, bright and round, surrounded by drifting clouds and a sea of stars. I used to hold books in my hands, he whispered. I wanted to learn literature, fight like heroes, earn titles, travel across lands and seas. His voice darkened. But then I met greedy pigs, people who treat others like dirt. And I wondered, why is the world like this? Why are humans so blinded by greed? Behind him, Miss Su sat silently, eyes softening. Ching Daliai turned back, lowered himself to one knee, and slowly stretched his hand toward her. I want to change this world. I want people to live in peace. Miss Su, will you help me make that dream come true? Miss Su swallowed hard. It could be a lie, she said, voice trembling. But something tells me you won't hurt me. I don't know why I feel that. She looked away. You may speak to me however you like, as long as you keep your word and don't harm me. I'll try my best to cooperate. Ching Daliai didn't speak for a moment. He quietly sat by the table. Tell me about this world, he said. Honestly, that's the only real thing I've said since I walked in. Miss Su blinked in surprise. But she nodded. They sat across from each other beneath the flickering candlelight. She spoke of Fallen Leaf City, the great families, the crumbling empire, the chaotic wars. And he listened, truly listened. Time passed in silence and warmth. When he left the room, he stepped out with his fists clenched in determination. Inside, Miss Su picked up a book and read a poem by candlelight. The sword in hand. The ambitious man. To rescue the people of the occupied land. She pondered the wuhook, that legendary sharp weapon. She thought about Guanshang, about the empire's prefectures. She knew Ching Daliai was lying, yet the words he spoke were so beautiful she couldn't dismiss them. If I presented this poem at the talent gathering, she murmured, it would shock everyone. Outside, Qin Man stood silently in the shadows, spear in hand. He stirred slightly when Ching Daliai approached. Qin Man? What are you doing here? A terrifying thought flickered through Ching Daliai's mind. Does this guy listen to people's private conversations? Qin Man cupped his fist respectfully. Village Master, at first I thought you were just another filthy bandit. Qing Dalei froze. But after hearing your words, Qin Man continued, I realize you're different. You have a dream. And if you have a dream, then I'm willing to risk my life to help you fulfill it. The system goddess appeared with a triumphant grin. Congratulations, she sang. You unknowingly completed Qin Man's hidden mission. His heart was shattered ever since Black Rock City took his wife and child. But by treating Miss Sue with respect instead of stealing her innocence, you gained his trust. A new pop-up materialized. Qin Man loyalty, max. Reason, recognize the village master's honor. Qing Dalei crossed his arms as he read it. So if I had hurt Miss Sue, Qin Man would have killed me first. He shivered. He finally realized. To gain the loyalty of a strong warrior, you must have the heart of a real leader. Dawn broke over Toad Village with a soft, golden glow, but the peace didn't last long. Linger came sprinting across the courtyard, breathless and panicked. Village Master! Someone's attacking the village! Qing Dalei nearly choked on his own spit. So soon? Already? How many are there? 100? 1,000? Linger's cheeks flushed pink. Just one. With a spear. And he's kind of handsome. Qing Dalei blinked. Just one? Outside the gate, Warrior Lin sat atop his horse, spear raised, shouting at the top of his lungs. Toad Village bandits! Come out and face justice! If you hurt Miss Sue, I'll kill every last one of you! The entire village, all 4 of them, walked out to see him. Qing Dalei scratched his head. What an idiot! He came back alone? He gave Qin Man a casual wave. Qin Man, go chase him away. Qin Man stepped forward. Warrior Lin pointed at him from his horse. Bring your weapon! And your horse! I don't want to take advantage of you! Qin Man shook his head calmly. No need. In the next instant, he leapt high into the air, came down with a crushing stomp on the horse's skull, and grabbed Warrior Lin's entire face with one hand like he was catching a melon. Warrior Lin froze, eyes popping open. Wait! Let go of my face! Qin Man lifted him effortlessly, still holding him by the face. Weak. With a flick of his wrist, he flung Warrior Lin into the forest. The poor warrior screamed as he blasted through the trees like a human cannonball. Qing Dalei winced. Oof, that must have hurt. Qin Man turned back calmly. Do you want me to finish him, Village Master? No, Qing Dalei hurriedly said. Don't harass him. When he comes back, let him take his horse. Don't break him too badly. Qin Man nodded respectfully. As you command. Suddenly, a notification appeared before Qing Dalei's eyes. Mission complete. Defend the village, first attack. A golden chest materialized in front of him. Qing Dalei frowned. Huh! That was too easy. Wasn't the difficulty supposed to be higher? Was the system glitched? Bugged? Broken? The system goddess floated down cheerfully and shoved a scroll into his hands. Your rewards! The scroll unraveled. Metal spear. Upgraded mountain horses. Healing aura within the mountain. 1 random skill upgrade. Farming lands. Wooden supply crates. Qing Dalei nearly fell over. This is like killing an ant and earning gold bars. His legs even went numb with excitement. The system goddess smirked. If it's a bug, it's not my department. I'm just the spirit. Take the rewards and stop complaining. Qing Dalei bowed blankly as she vanished. Shinji tugged his sleeve. Village Master, what's wrong? You look like you saw a ghost. Before Qing could reply, another mission alert popped up. Second defense mission activated. Difficulty, exceeds village power. Qing Dalei's smile stiffened. Ah. So that was why the first mission was generous. The real trouble was only beginning. Behind him, Shinji whispered. Village Master, you just got yourself a wife. Try to stand straight. Your legs are shaking. Qing Dalei snapped. Shut up! Suddenly. Thunk. A spear landed in the dirt in front of them. Warrior Lin had climbed back up the mountain, battered but still alive. His clothes were torn, his face bruised, but his spirit intact. He stood tall, spear in hand. I'm back! Shinji's eye twitched. This idiot again. Let's just kill him! Qing Dalei smacked him on the head. Fool! He's our benefactor. Whoever touches him has to kill me first. Qin Man blinked. Village Master, benefactor? Qing Dalei nodded firmly. Warrior Lin is not the enemy. He cupped his hands around his mouth and shouted. Warrior Lin! Are you hungry? Want to come eat? Our food is delicious. Come try it. Su Shinji's jaw dropped open. What? Why are we inviting him? Warrior Lin slammed his spear into the ground. Silence, bandits! Come at me! This time I'll fight with my bare hands. Cheng whispered to Qin Man. Don't kill him. Be gentle. Qin Man nodded. Understood. Warrior Lin charged. Qin Man moved. With one slap. Boom. Warrior Lin flew again. Qing Dailai sighed. Warrior Lin! Are you okay? Come back when you've recovered. Another notification flashed. Mission complete, second defense. Rewards. Mountain Spring. Blood Pills. Village Skill, Sickles. 5 wooden boxes. Qing Dailai stared blankly. These are way worse than the first rewards. Meanwhile, Warrior Lin, stubborn beyond belief, climbed the mountain a third time using a wooden staff as a cane. As soon as he reached the village gate. Mission triggered, third defense. Qing Dailai lifted a hand. Warrior Lin, are you okay? Warrior Lin yelled back, half his teeth missing. Not until you release Miss Su. I'll never stop. Qing Dailai sighed and shook his head. Qin Man, be gentle with him this time. Qin Man nodded, turned toward Warrior Lin, and punched him. One punch. Warrior Lin flew. Again. Third defense mission complete. Reward granted. Not long after, Warrior Lin reappeared. His face was swollen, bruised, and barely recognizable, but his spirit burned brighter than ever. As soon as he showed up, another notification flashed. Fourth defense mission activated. Qin Man stepped forward. Another clash. Another defeat. Fourth defense complete. More rewards. Then again. And again. Every time Warrior Lin climbed back up Toad Ridge, a new mission triggered. And every time, he was defeated and thrown back down, and they got rewarded. It was like the system had turned Warrior Lin into a walking, shouting, spear-wielding loot dispenser. After a while, Linger tugged Qing Dailai's sleeve. Village Master, can we go back now? I'm hungry. Qing Dailai shook his head. Not yet. I know Warrior Lin won't give up so easily. Just then, the system goddess appeared with a delighted grin and a glowing pop-up box. Hidden attribute unlocked. Kindness Charisma buff, male only. Effect. The village master's righteousness attracts more young men of justice. Ineffective on females. Qing Dailai stared blankly. So I get more dudes, but it doesn't work on girls? Seriously? Do I really have to keep playing the nice guy? He muttered. Time passed. The sun climbed and began its descent. Warrior Lin still didn't appear. Qing Dailai frowned. Why is he late this time? He sat down on a rock, arms crossed. This isn't right. That idiot wouldn't just quit. Did something happen to him? His expression hardened. You all stay here. I'll go down the mountain and look for him. As the sun slowly sank toward the horizon, Warrior Lin stood alone at the edge of a cliff, leaning on his wooden staff. His body was broken. His heart, even more so. He stared out at the mountains, wind tugging at his tattered clothes. I wanted to become a hero, he whispered. Just me, my spear, and a dream, to save the world and make it peaceful. His fingers loosened. The wooden staff slipped from his grasp and fell. He thought of how he had been humiliated over and over by mountain bandits. He'd lost his horse. He'd lost his spear. A sad smile twisted his lips. I'll die here today. Maybe in my next life, I'll be reborn as a real hero, one whose name echoes across the Mirim world. Tears rolled down his bruised cheeks. Just as he stepped closer to the edge. Ahem. Qing Dailai coughed behind him. Can you not? At least choose one, dying heroically or moping dramatically. Both at once is too much. Warrior Lin's eyes flared with rage. You bastard bandit! You dare mock me even now? I'd rather die than be humiliated by someone like you. Qing Dailai folded his arms. I heard everything you said. You think you're brave for dying for your dreams. He stepped closer, voice sharp. But a young fool dies for his ambition. A real man lives for his dream, even if it means living humbly. Warrior Lin froze. Qing Dailai's words stung more than any punch. Qing didn't stop. Suicide isn't bravery. It's cowardice. You're just running away from reality because it hurts. His voice thundered. And you call yourself a warrior? Warrior Lin trembled. I don't know anymore. I'm just a mountain bandit's enemy. You're the villain here. Qing Dailai sighed softly. I know you hate bandits. But you had a dream once. You used to be a man full of ideals, didn't you? He looked out at the sunset. Do you want to hear mine? Warrior Lin, still trembling, managed a nod. Cheng Dalei lifted his gaze. I once wanted to study literature, fight like a warrior, and win titles, he said. A man who does not bring forth his wuvuk, nor gain guanshang over 50 prefectures, is unworthy. With a sword in hand, the ambitious man rescues the people of occupied lands. Warrior Lin's eyes widened as Cheng Dalei recited his poem. I wanted to travel the world. Cheng continued. To cross seas, to see everything. But then I met greedy pigs who treated others like garbage. I began to wonder, why is the world like this? Why are people so easily corrupted by greed? He took a deep breath. So I decided. I want to rebuild this world. To save it. To let all citizens live peacefully. He smiled gently and extended his hand. And for that, I need people. I want to take your hand and ask. Will you help me achieve this dream? Warrior Lin's heart shook. This came from a bandit's mouth? He felt lightheaded, his body swaying. Is this a dream? How did someone with such a righteous dream become a bandit? Was I blind this whole time? His balance slipped. He staggered closer to the cliff's edge, consciousness fading. Cheng Dalei lunged forward and grabbed his wrist. Whoa! Don't die in the middle of a good speech, idiot! He held on tightly as Warrior Lin passed out cold. Cheng gently lowered him to the ground and checked his condition. He's badly injured, yet he still tried to save Miss Sue. Back in Toad Village, a towel, a water basin, and a bowl of medicinal soup were set on the floor beside a low bed. Warrior Lin lay there, bandaged, with a cloth covering his body. His head was wrapped in white bandages, face bruised but breathing steadily. Cheng Dalei turned to Su Shinji. Do we have any more medicine? Shinji shook his head. No. The gangs that left before us took everything. And are you really not afraid he's a spy? Cheng Dalei shook his head. After what I heard from him, I believe I can trust him. But Warrior Lin's condition was still worrying. If the inflammation doesn't go down, he might die. Cheng muttered. He pulled out one of the blood pills he'd received from the system. We'll use this. He carefully fed the pill to Warrior Lin. Then he called out. Linger! Bring me the shovel and the hoe! Linger, confused but obedient, brought 2 heavy tools. Su Shinji's eyes narrowed. What are you planning to do? Dig graves? There's no treasure left in this village. Don't destroy the land for nothing. Cheng Dalei ignored him. Led by Cheng Dalei, with Linger and Shinji following behind, they went out to dig. And sure enough, our boy Cheng unearthed a stash of 10 blood pills that had been provided by the system. He told them to bring them to Warrior Lin in the stable. Later, in the stable, Cheng Dalei turned to Chin Man. This black horse is yours now. Chin Man cupped his fist, deeply grateful. Thank you, village master. A new pop-up appeared. Yellow horse skill, escape. Black horse skill, charge. At the same time, Linger came running back, holding something. Village master! I found this metal spear outside on the road. It was the spear that had once belonged to Warrior Lin. Cheng Dalei also received a charred, half-burned copy of Su Shinji's old records, his so-called Black History. A crude map was drawn on it. He studied it for a moment, then grimaced. Who drew this awful map? The answer was scribbled there clearly. Su Shinji. Of course. While Cheng Dalei continued sorting through system rewards, more strange blessings seemed to appear throughout Toad Village. Chin Man emerged from behind a pile of rocks holding a military drum, half buried and forgotten. Village master, he said calmly. I found this. Moments later, Linger called out from inside the house. Village master! There's something under the table. She lifted a dust-covered cloth. Beneath it was an old war flag, stiff with age. Its faded pattern seemed to hum with long-lost dignity. Then came something even stranger. The ancient well that had been abandoned for 10 entire years suddenly began gushing water. Linger screamed, clutching her chest. Ghost! It has to be a ghost! Cheng Dalei just stared. No way all of this is coincidence, right? Later, Cheng Dalei presented the metal spear Linger had found to Chin Man. Chin Man froze, breath trembling. This is an elite spear. I've only dreamed of wielding something like this. The system popped a message. Chin Man, upgraded. Weapon 3 Core Plum Blossom Spear, Elite. Rank, Top Bandit of Toad Village. Chin Man bowed deeply. Village Master, with this weapon, my spear skill will reach an entirely new level. Cheng Dalei felt a small swell of pride. But then, a long, scroll-like box materialized in the air, unfurling dramatically in front of him like Santa Claus' overstuffed list. The system goddess hovered above it, waving her arms theatrically. Here are today's rewards. The list stretched and stretched. Elite Spear. 2 common armors. 10 blood pills. 1 war drum. 1 war flag. 30 jars of wine. Sickles. Maps, scribes, cloth. Farmland. A well. A mountain spring. Skills. All horses upgraded with special abilities. It was a mountain of riches. Chingdalia just stared at it, eyes hollow. No sword? How am I supposed to become a Murim swordsman without a sword? His dream of swishing through forests like a martial arts protagonist faded into smoke. Hopelessness welled up. He suddenly realized he still hadn't found the wooden boxes. Where are those boxes? Su Shinji bent down and, with an embarrassing amount of luck, lifted a tiny hatch hidden under a haystack. Village master, look! A small entrance. They pried it open, stepped down the narrow stairs, and entered an underground storage base. And there, piled neatly, were all the wooden boxes. Shinji's eyes sparkled with greed. Village master, could this be the old master's savings? Chengdalia shrugged. Let's find out. They both smirked like villains as they approached the stack. Their eyes lit crimson with anticipation. Chengdalia washed his face, wiped away misfortune, steeled his soul, then opened the first box. Flash. Golden light burst outward. This was it. This was the moment every gacha gamer lives for, the dream of pulling an SSR. His mind raced with possibilities. A mythical beast? A legendary martial arts manual? Maybe a drop-dead gorgeous heroine? He reached inside and pulled out a rock. Just a rock. The system goddess lifted her thumb. Good luck! Chingdalia screamed internally. A rock? Seriously? Shinji asked timidly. Village master, shall I open one? No, Chingdalia muttered. Your luck is even worse than mine. That's dangerous. But Shinji had already opened one. He reached in, sniffed the contents. What is this? Something edible? Chingdalia rubbed a pinch between his fingers. Gunpowder. Gunpowder? Shinji blinked. Can we eat it? No. Open the rest. They tore open box after box. Results. A few boxes of gunpowder. A depressing number of trash stones. Some broken weapons. Torn clothes. The system goddess pop-up reflected their misery accurately. But Chingdalia suddenly grinned. Gunpowder. Mountain roads. Ambush. Perfect. We can use this. He murmured. After exiting the basement, he told Su Shinji. Keep the boxes. Don't break them. Shinji scratched his head. But they'd make excellent firewood in winter. Break even one and I will burn you, Chingdalia replied. Chingdalia then asked. Where's the village field? At the back hill, Shinji said. Deserted for years. Why? I want to look at it. Night had fallen. The full moon radiated silver light across the land. Shinji complained endlessly. Village master, it's late. Why walk so far just to see a field? Go get Chin Man and Linger. Together, the four of them walked toward the field. They passed a rocky valley and rounded a corner. And froze. Where Shinji had once lazily thrown a few wheat seeds into dead soil. A flourishing wheat field now spread before them. Golden. Full. A sea of ripe grain dancing in the night breeze. Shinji fell to his knees immediately. God bless us! God bless us! Linger squeaked as Chingdalia scolded her for stomping into the wheat like an excited rabbit. The system goddess appeared with a soft glow. Farmlands accounted for. Chin Man stepped forward. If we harvest all of this, possibly 1,000 pounds of grain, we'll survive winter. Straw can be burned for heat. But we must harvest soon, the rainy season approaches. Shinji and Linger knelt together, tears forming. Thank you, heavens, thank you for your grace. Chingdalia watched them silently. Not all bandits were evil. They were just victims of their era, pressed into banditry by starvation, war, cruelty. These three, they were good people. Innocent people. Shinji had once been a scholar in the village below the mountain. His greatest desire had been simple, to earn enough to buy wine and stare at the widow's breasts. But even he had known true cruelty. One day, the local bullies targeted Linger, trying to force themselves on her. Shinji had begged them to stop. Refused them repeatedly. But they kept coming. So Shinji invited the bully to his home. Dressed Linger beautifully. Prepared wine. Cooked the family's old hen, the one that laid eggs. With a smile, he told the bully. Look how cute and beautiful Linger is. She'll serve you well. She's blessed to be with you. And maybe one day, I'll be blessed too. He closed the door behind them. The bully drank. Got drunk. Relaxed. Then Shinji chopped off his head. Burned the bully's house. Fled the village with Linger. Through countless hardships. They ended up at Toad Village. It was, perhaps, the one time Shinji's scheme had succeeded. And Ching Daliai had to admit. It was a brilliant scheme. As Linger and Shinji sat together under the moonlight in the wheat field, gazing up at the stars, Linger tugged on her father's sleeve. "Father, can we pick some wheat and make pancakes?" Shinji snorted. "Pancakes? Don't waste good wheat. Use elm leaves, they last for days." Linger groaned. "But I'm hungry." Shinji shook his head. "No need to rush. Let's enjoy this beautiful field first." Inside Toad Village, Ching Daliai stood studying an old grayish flag striped with faded red. Its fabric fluttered weakly in the morning breeze. Shinji squinted at it. "Village master, is this really our flag? It looks like someone cut it from a pair of pants." Ching Daliai frowned. "I've been meaning to ask, who designed this? And what does the egg on the toad's head even mean?" Shinji puffed up proudly. "That's not an egg. It's a divine heavenly toad swallowing the moon." Ching Daliai stared at him. "It looks like an egg." Regardless, he placed his hand on the flag with a new sense of purpose. "Chin Man, hang it." Without a word, Chin Man leapt, from the ground to the roof, then to the tall wooden pole with impossible grace. In a single swift movement, the flag was raised. The heavenly toad flag unfurled in the wind. Full moonlight, partially hidden by thin clouds, shone upon them, the flag waving proudly as Chin Man landed beside the others. Ching Daliai gazed at that flag, at the tiny village beneath it, at the fields, the weapons, the people. "We can survive this winter. We have food. We have land. We have people. This is my territory now. And I'll protect it." The system goddess emerged with a twirl. "The flag is hung. The heroes who hear of your battles will come to serve you." A mission appeared before him. New mission: increase the mountain population to 100. Reward: 1 lottery draw. Cheng's heart thumped. His village was no longer just a surviving bandit hideout. It was becoming something real. His mountain village had begun. Morning sunlight filtered through the towering windows of the city lord's mansion. Narration echoed through the hall. "We arrived at Toad Ridge, where hundreds of bandits gathered under one leader who called himself the Toad King." Commander Huang knelt in front of the city lord, trembling with fear. Behind the city lord stood 2 graceful attendants, and seated to the side was a man observing silently. Commander Huang's voice quivered. "City lord, we fought with everything we had, but..." The city lord said nothing. Sweat poured down Huang's back. "We were ambushed by those fiends. A man named Shinji led them. There were at least 200, no, 300 bandits. They called themselves Yuan from Yongchun." The observer at the table tilted his head. "So many? Has Toad Ridge always had that many bandits?" Commander Huang swallowed. Yes, sir. I tried, truly, to protect the young master's fiancée, but I was injured, and she was taken. I failed. I deserve punishment." The city lord nodded coldly. "Then you will be killed." Huang's face drained of all color as guards seized him. "But... Father, wait!" A young man burst through the massive red curtain. The young master. He knelt beside Huang, clutching his father's robe. "Please allow me to lead the troops to Toad Ridge and save Miss Sue." The city lord sighed lazily. "She's not that special. Daddy will find you a new one." The young master bowed even deeper. "Father! If I cannot protect my wife-to-be, how can I call myself a man? Please let me lead our forces." The city lord eyed him for a long moment. Tea was poured into his cup as he asked, "How many soldiers do you want?" 2,000. Pffffft. The city lord nearly spat out his tea. The strategist seated nearby widened his eyes. 2,000 men? Young master, such a large force requires massive supplies, horses, routes, logistics. You must reconsider. The young master shook his head proudly. "I have thought of everything." He began listing troops with confidence. 200 cavalry. 200 archers. 300 swordsmen. 100 armored knights. 200 spearmen. He smiled smugly. "Cavalry will chase fleeing bandits. Archers will provide ranged support. Armored knights will block their charge. Spearmen and swordsmen will clean up the bandits when their ambush fails. It will be easy." The city lord watched his son walk away with pride gleaming in his eyes. This is expected of him. He dreams of leading troops. Let him try this small battle. He paused, glancing at Commander Huang. Commander Huang will follow him. Earn redemption. Huang bowed deeply, relieved to be alive, though in his mind being beheaded earlier would have been much kinder. There are only 2 bandits. What is he going to do when he sees that? Once they left, the city lord asked his strategist. "Strategist Bai, what do you think of my son's plan?" Bai sighed. In forests and mountains, cavalry is useless. Armored knights can't travel long distances. Numbers won't matter, bandits defend passively. This plan is full of holes. The city lord nodded. I know. Then why allow it? Asked Bai. The city lord leaned back. My son admires military heroes. He studies the art of war, but lacks experience. Toad Ridge was already attacked. They won't have many bandits left. Even with 1,000 men, he will not lose. He closed his eyes peacefully. Let him have his fun commanding troops in this small battle. Strategist Bai bowed slightly. In that case, I am relieved. He added. The young master is preparing the troops now. Strategist Bai hesitated for a moment, then asked quietly. City Lord, do you wish to know how your son plans to lead the army? The City Lord waved a hand dismissively. There's no need. It will be fine. He turned toward the two young girls beside him, slipping an arm around each shoulder. Girls, come with me. I don't want to think about anything today. I just want to enjoy myself. He added, almost bragging. If you ever experience these young beauties, Strategist Bai, you'd realize nothing else in the world is worth worrying about. Strategist Bai was left speechless, mouth half open. On the other side of the mountains, Ching Dalei sat cross-legged on the floor, maps spread out before him. Miss Su sat across from him, her posture refined even in a bandit's hut. Ching tapped the map thoughtfully. Miss Su, doesn't Black Rock City have a standing army? How can a city with only 20,000 people support 5,000 soldiers? Miss Su straightened her back, adjusting her posture. In times of peace, they draw from military households. But if war grows severe, ordinary citizens must join as well. Ching Dalei nodded slowly. And by Han Chuan. I keep hearing that name. Miss Su's expression softened as she answered. He is the strategist, in charge of everything inside and outside Black Rock City. He once planned to train 500 elite standing troops, but the plan was abandoned because it required far too many resources. Still, he is brilliant. Ching Dalei gathered the maps in his hands and scoffed. What a terrible city lord Black Rock City has. Miss Su narrowed her eyes slightly. And do you know how to be a better city lord? Could you manage the city better? Ching Dalei shrugged. No. Miss Su sighed. Then you should run. There are only 4 of you, you cannot fight 200 soldiers. Cheng grinned. Actually, we're 5 now. Warrior Lin joined us. And with 5 people, I plan to defend against 500. Miss Su stared at him in pure disbelief. Later, Ching Dalei walked toward the small cottages, stopping a short distance from Warrior Lin, who was standing with his back turned. How's your body? Ching asked gently. Warrior Lin stiffened, surprised. Village Master. Cheng extended a hand. For our ideals. Warrior Lin blinked. Then slowly, firmly, he clasped Ching Dalei's hand. For our ideals. Under a shady tree, Ching Dalei sat beside Su Shinji, who was stuffing bread into his mouth. Strategist Su. I have an important mission for you. Our survival may depend on it. Shinji nearly choked. Find someone else. If it's that important, don't pick me. Cheng patted his back. No one else can do it. Only you, my one and only strategist, can go to Gao Fei Hu? Shinji froze mid-bite. You're trying to get me killed? Ching Dalei leaned in and whispered. You'll bring them good wine. And tell the Flying Tiger Bandits that Black Rock City is preparing to attack Chinyo Mountain. And also warn the Dawhead Bandits, the Bulb Bandits, the Wild Boar Bandits, the Apricot Blossom Bandits, all of them. Shinji looked horrified. You think they'll believe me? Use your brain, Ching said. Make up a convincing story. Shinji whimpered. The previous leader had grudges with them, they hate us. Cheng waved dismissively. Don't worry. I'll send Warrior Lin to protect you. Shinji grabbed Cheng's collar. How about you go instead? Ching Dalei exploded. You want me to go die? Shinji grumbled with tears in his eyes. Then Ching winked at him and whispered. If you die, I'll take good care of Linger for you. Shinji's soul left his body for a second. Cheng added, face suddenly grim. And if you mess up, I'll plaster your erotic drawings on the city walls of Black Rock City. Shinji turned pale instantly. Warrior Lin drove the wagon, reins in hand. Jars of wine clinked behind him. Su Shinji sat bitterly on top of a haystack, hugging his knees. Ching Dalei and Qin Man stood behind them, arms folded. Shinji muttered curses under his breath the entire time. Finally, they departed. Qin Man watched them disappear. Village Master, do you really trust Strategist Su? We have no choice. Ching Dalei said. Whether they trust him or not, it's worth trying. Back in the village, Ching Dalei opened a wooden box filled with gunpowder. He packed it with gravel and straw, then twisted oil-soaked cotton into a long fuse. After sealing it, he stuck a red flag on top. "Chain Man! Throw it!" Chain Man hurled the box. Boom! A massive explosion erupted, sending flames skyward. Black smoke curled up like a dragon rising. Chain Man's eyes widened. "Village Master, is this the breath of an earth dragon?" Cheng Dalei grinned proudly. "This is the art of explosion." Outside the walls of Black Rock City, troops gathered under the scorching sun. Rows upon rows of soldiers lined up before an elevated stage. The young master admired the clear blue sky. "Auspicious! The heavens bless our battle!" The soldiers behind him muttered. "He's insane! This sun is cooking us alive! My armor is boiling! Good omen, my foot!" A young soldier whispered. "Uncle Huang, are you sure we need to fight this battle? I turn 18 this year." Commander Huang snorted. "Quiet. We're only subjugating a few thieves. You'll be fine." Up front, the young master stood proudly, sword at his side, hair blowing in the wind like he imagined himself a legendary general. He placed his sword against the neck of a spear-holding soldier nearby. Are you happy?" The soldier went pale. "Huh?" The young master smiled coldly. "I'm happy for you. Because in ancient times, famous generals sacrificed one soldier before going to war. And I choose you." The soldier trembled. Please don't joke." "What makes you think I'm joking?" Slash. Blood spurted. The soldier fell, clutching his neck. With tears in his eyes, he cursed the young master who killed him for his bullshit glory. The young master then stated, "From this day onward," he declared solemnly, "you will rest in peace. And my family name will be glorified because of me." He raised his arm. "Set off!" The soldiers stood stiffly, numb and furious. Behind their stone-cold faces, whispers spread. "Our young master is an idiot. This guy is going to get us all killed." But orders were orders. And so, the troops of Black Rock City began marching toward the mountains, horses neighing, armor clanking, dust rising behind them. Meanwhile, the young master reclined comfortably in his lavish carriage, enjoying a bowl of fresh fruits while a servant held a parasol over him. Commander Huang approached from horseback, sweating heavily. "Young master, why are we not rushing? And why are you sitting inside a carriage?" The young master scoffed. "I'm not a soldier. Why would I rush into battle?" He gestured to his own head. "A commander must use his brain. Hard labor would only hinder my true potential." Commander Huang forced a trembling smile. "Why yes, young master. I understand." "No, you don't," the young master replied arrogantly. "But you will. I respect generals who sit in camp and lead troops while their men win battles." Commander Huang fell silent. There was no winning this conversation. Back at the city lord's mansion, strategist Bai Han Chuan rushed in, visibly anxious. The city lord was fully occupied, lounging with young women draped over him. Bai Han bowed deeply. "City lord, I feel uneasy. The young master has been gone for a full day. I request permission to gather men and follow him, in case he is in danger." The city lord waved lazily. "Do whatever you want. Just don't disturb my fun." "Yes, city lord." Within minutes, orders were issued. 100 elite riders gathered outside the city gates, mounted and ready. Dust swirled around their hooves as strategist Bai led them. They rode out immediately, chasing the young master's trail. Night approached. The sky dimmed, yet the young master's forces still marched relentlessly. Commander Huang trotted beside the carriage. "Young master, we must rest. We've been marching all day. The soldiers are exhausted. They won't hold much longer." The young master waved dismissively. "Speed is essential. What if the bandits strike while we rest?" Commander Huang nearly choked. "But how about the men?" The young master snapped. "They are going to war. Many will die. A little fatigue is nothing compared to death." Commander Huang stared blankly. This was beyond idiocy. Suddenly, a soldier rode up. "Young master! 3 roads ahead, the official road, the mountain road, and the valley road. Which do we take?" Commander Huang barked. "Take the official road! Don't ask stupid questions!" But in his head, he was screaming. "Please, young master, please don't take any of the other roads." The young master pulled out a scroll dramatically. "Wait." He studied it like a scholar composing poetry. "Since Commander Huang prefers the official road, the bandits will surely expect us to take it. They'll set traps." He pointed forward. "I will outwit them." Commander Huang's soul left his body for a moment. "He's going to kill us all." Hidden nearby, a bandit crouched in the bushes watching the marching army. His jaw dropped. "It's true, there really are 1,000 troops coming. He sprinted away silently into the moonlit forest, rushing to spread the news. Within hours, the rumors swept through all of Chinyo Mountain. Flying Tiger Village. Doghead Bandits. Apricot Blossom Bandits. Wild Boar Bandits. All the bandit groups heard the same terrifying message. Toad Village warned them, Black Rock City was marching with 1,000 soldiers. The messenger burst into Flying Tiger Village, gasping for breath. Big brother! It's true! So many soldiers, and they didn't take the official road! Someone shouted. But they're not heading toward us, they're going to Toad Village! Another added. Toad Village only has 4 or 5 people, why send 1,000 troops? Gao Fenghu, the leader of Flying Tiger Village, stroked his beard. If only our strategists were here. I'd wait and see what happens. Meanwhile, Black Rock City's forces moved through a narrow valley, tall stone cliffs rising on both sides. Above them, hidden in the trees, Qing Dalai and Su Shinji peered down from the cliff edge. Shinji gulped. Village master, there are indeed 1,000 soldiers. We should withdraw. We cannot fight this. But Qing Dalai shook his head. No going back. We proceed as planned. Below them, massive logs were tied at the cliff's edge, ready to be released. Qing Dalai whispered. When they enter the valley, we drop the logs. Then Lin fires the explosives. You, Shinji, with Qin Man and Linger will throw the explosive boxes. Shinji scratched his head. Why only blow up one side of the valley? Why not both? Qing Dalai replied calmly. When people have no escape, they fight harder. But if they see a way out, they won't risk their lives. We let them retreat. Otherwise they fight to the death. Shinji shivered. You already planned this far. Chen was sweating heavily. Is the cavalry out of the danger zone? Yes. Then, do it now. Qing Dalai swung his axe. Thwack. The rope snapped. Dozens of massive logs tumbled from the cliff. They crashed downward like falling boulders. Boom! Logs smashed into men and horses alike. Soldiers screamed as chaos rippled through the valley. Horses reared. Men fell beneath the crushing weight. Qing Dalai shouted over the roaring chaos. Warrior Lin, light it! But Warrior Lin froze. He held the burning torch in his trembling hand, sweat pouring down his face. His eyes fixated on the valley below, on the sheer number of soldiers trapped between the cliffs. Qing Dalai placed a hand on his shoulder. Is this your first time killing? Warrior Lin swallowed hard. And no. It's just, there are too many of them. Qing Dalai's expression snapped. He grabbed Warrior Lin with both hands and slammed him back against a tree, eyes blazing. You bastard! He shook him violently as sweat dripped down his forehead. This is war! Not a child's playground. His voice cracked with fury. War isn't dignified. War isn't civilized. It's you killing someone, or someone killing you. Warrior Lin's eyes widened. Qing's fury wasn't madness, it was truth. Qing ripped the torch out of his hand. If we let them go today, we die. From both ends of the stone cliffs, boom! More explosions detonated like thunder. Massive boulders trembled loose and rained down from above. Soldiers below screamed in terror as stones crashed onto horses, shattering formations and sending bodies flying. The exit is blocked! Someone shouted. Village master! Dozens of horsemen already broke through the passage! But panic spread faster than orders. Men down in the valley trembled as they stared up at the raining debris. It's a mountain ghost! Someone wailed. A ghost is attacking us! Another searing blast erupted from the ground, flames swallowing soldiers and flinging bodies into the air. Dust and black smoke rose like a demon's breath. A swordsman, face gray with fear, shouted. Get up the hill! Move! Qin Man rode his black horse forward, spear gleaming with deadly intent. I'll hold them off! He roared. Qing Dalai clenched his teeth. A few had indeed escaped the valley's death trap, and they were regrouping. Go! Cheng commanded. Hold them back! Su Shinji was ordered to ignite the buried explosives further down the ridge. Drive them away from the first line! Qing Dalai turned to Ling Er and Warrior Lin. Keep throwing explosives! Qin Man thundered across the narrow ridge on his black horse, charging directly at the swordsmen and spearmen who had broken through. He planted his spear in the earth, eyes fierce. My name is Qin Man! None of you shall pass! The first wave of soldiers rushed him. With a single colossal swing, Qin Man's spear carved through armor and horse alike, bodies crashing, spears snapping. His attacks were so violent that even the veterans stared, stunned. He stabbed one soldier clean through the chest. The man spat blood, falling backward off his horse. The soldier thought miserably. If only we weren't so tired, this battle would be different. But they had no breath, no strength left. And Qin Man did not stop. More explosions shredded the narrow path behind them. Stone fragments cut through flesh and armor. Soldiers fled in blind terror, screaming. Those hit directly by fire were swallowed by black smoke, collapsing instantly. The survivors ran until they stumbled into the young master's carriage. The young master stood up in his carriage, eyes glowing at the sight of blazing explosions and dark smoke. He raised one commanding hand. "No one run! Whoever crosses that line, dies!" He struck a dramatic pose, thinking to himself. "I look so handsome right now. I will turn this losing battle into victory." But his soldiers were beyond reason. "There are ghosts in the mountain," they cried. "Let us leave! Why won't you let us run?" Yet they didn't stop running, even as they shouted at him. The young master's eyes bulged with rage. "Go to your graves! All of you!" But they ignored him entirely, sprinting past him like he didn't exist. Suddenly, crack! The carriage wheel snapped. The entire carriage toppled over, tumbling downhill as the young master yelped. Stone shrapnel flew through the air. Soldiers were thrown aside like rag dolls. Commander Huang grabbed the young master, shouting, "We've lost! Run for your life!" The young master nodded desperately. "Yes. Yes. In ancient times, great generals learned from defeat. This loss will make me stronger." Commander Huang gritted his teeth so hard his jaw nearly broke. Stone debris exploded behind them. Still, the young master held out his sword dramatically. "Commander Huang, take my sword! Witness my growth!" A boulder fell directly on Huang's head. He didn't even flinch. He was too annoyed. Finally, he snapped. He shoved the young master onto the ground and screamed, "Go die by yourself, you idiot!" Then he ran, saving his own life without looking back. The young master sat on the dirt, stunned speechless. Back on the cliff, Qing Dalai fell onto one knee, panting. He leaned forward, staring down into the smoke-filled valley. "Did we win?" he thought to himself. When one soldier loses courage and runs, the others follow, and panic becomes unstoppable. Su Shinji scrambled beside him, eyes sparkling with joy. "Village master! We won! We actually won!" Qing Dalai rose to his feet, eyes blazing with adrenaline, and thrust his arm forward. "Warrior Lin! Shinji! With me!" They jumped onto the carriage. Su Shinji grabbed the reins, snapping them sharply as the horse leapt forward. Qing Dalai and Warrior Lin stood on the carriage bed, weapons raised high. "Ling Er! Drum!" Ling Er lifted the thick drumstick, took a deep breath, and boom! 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 The war drum shook the mountain. The carriage thundered onto the battlefield, Qing Dalai roaring, "Charge! Kill them all!" Through the smoke and flames they rushed, until they saw him. Qin Man was still fighting on the scorched battlefield, striking down soldier after soldier. Flames painted the ground orange behind him. Spears clashed. Horses screamed. But Qin Man did not relent. He tore through them like a storm god. Qing Dalai cupped his hands and roared, "If you don't want to die, get off your horses now! I only want the horses!" Panic surged. One soldier shouted desperately to his friend, "Run!" Another jumped off his horse without hesitation. Some threw their weapons aside. Others were already fleeing on foot. Behind them, Qin Man continued smashing through their ranks, spear flashing viciously in the firelight. Qing Dalai watched as soldiers scattered like frightened chickens. "Shinji! Qin Man! Gather all the horses and bring them back to the stable." Then he pointed his axe forward. "Warrior Lin, come with me. We're robbing swords." Elsewhere, a group of mountain bandits lurked at the edge of the flaming valley, the Flying Tiger Bandits. The narrow stone pass was still smoking from explosions, corpses scattered, weapons glinting on the dirt. One of the bandits shuddered. "What kind of monsters are the Toad Village? 1,000 warriors defeated by 5 people? How?" Even their leader, Gao Fenghu, was baffled. "I don't know either. They must have called in an expert." A bandit sighed. "To think 1,000 soldiers could lose to 5 bandits. The world is unpredictable." Another bandit smacked him on the head. "Stop sighing! You're a bandit! Get to work!" Gao Fenghu unsheathed his sword. "Brothers! Charge!" The Flying Tiger Bandits stormed the battlefield like hungry wolves. They yanked soldiers down, stripped them of their armor, snatched weapons, and robbed them blind. One bandit laughed while tugging at a soldier's boots. "I haven't had new shoes in years. Hand them over." Another soldier begged pitifully. "I am not gay. Please. I'll give you anything, just don't take my virginity." "Idiot!" the bandit snapped. I don't want your virginity. I want your pants. Meanwhile, Ching Dalei charged after the terrified young master of Black Rock City. On horseback, axe raised, he bellowed. Stop running! Give me your sword! The young master shrieked as he kept sprinting for dear life. But suddenly, thud 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 thud, a massive line of cavalry appeared. Dozens of horses thundered in unison, dust exploding under their hooves. Ching Dalei froze. This rhythm, that power. Elite troops. He quickly hid in the bushes, gripping his axe tightly. The soldiers halted. Their leader stepped forward, calm and commanding. It was Bai Han Chuan, the top strategist of Black Rock City. The young master ran up, crying dramatically. Strategist Bai! Save me! Everyone bullied me! All of them abandoned me! Strategist Bai did not hesitate. He thrust his sword straight into the young master's throat. The young master's eyes widened, blood spilling from his mouth. He collapsed to his knees, choking. Strategist Bai spoke coldly. Pick up the body. We're returning. The reinforcement troops lifted the young master's corpse as if picking up trash. A pop-up from the system appeared before Ching Dalei. Name Bai Han Chuan. Age unknown. Title Top Strategist. Skill 7 sword slashes. Hidden attributes none. Ching Dalei's heart tightened. A bandit like Qin Man can fight 100 men. But a strategist like Bai Han Chuan is a different kind of monster. Bai Han's gaze suddenly shifted toward the bushes. Ching Dalei ducked. Let's go, Bai Han ordered. As the cavalry turned away, Ching Dalei muttered. Why are they retreating? This era truly does have some genius strategists. He kicked a stray stone in frustration. Damn it! They took the sword I wanted! A new mission pop-up appeared. Mission complete. Successful defense. Reward, 1 lottery draw. Draw now? The system goddess emerged like a ghost rising from the grave. Her voice quivered. I finally escaped that horrible, small black room. I don't want to go back again. Ching Dalei frowned. What are you talking about? You were energetic earlier. Her eyes watered. I was right in front of you. But you never noticed me. You never called me. You kept me locked away. Ching Dalei groaned. All you do is hit me every time you show up. Honestly, I feel better when you're not here. The goddess's face twisted. She kicked Ching Dalei in the head. That's for locking me in a tiny dark room. Still rubbing his head, Ching Dalei snapped. Next time, I'll use bugs. The goddess brandished a massive wooden mallet and began chasing him. You dare? Say that again. Ching Dalei sped up from atop his horse as she chased.